Public domain book publishing. Hi, Kerry here from Dream Creative Bee, and welcome to our channel where we show you how to make money online KDP low content books and Etsy with new training every week. So be sure to hit the big red subscribe button down below to be notified about new videos. So in the different Facebook groups that talk about low and no content books, I have been seeing the same sorts of questions all around the public domain. And these questions are: what is public domain? Can we actually use public domain? Why is my books not selling? Why am I only making a little amount of royalties if they do sell? Why is my account suspended, and why my account being terminated? So in this video, I'm going to actually answer all of those questions one by one. So the first question is, what is public domain? Public domain simply is no one actually owns the copyright to that piece of content, whether it be a book, art, video, music, or whatever. Either because they've given up that right by using the Creative Commons license, or they have actually sold it on another licensing term. Also, it could be something that's created by a government body, for example, the US federal government. Anything they create is usually in the public domain, or it's being created by somebody who has been deceased for 70 years or more, and their family or estate no longer actually owns that copyright or have not been able to extend the copyright rules. So copyright actually begins the minute someone actually puts pen to paper or hits the keyboard on their computer and start creating new content and unique content. So if you are actually copying somebody else's design or whatever, they own that copyright, not you yourself, unless you've purchased that license. So can we actually publish these books that you find in the public domain on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing? And the simple answer is yes. But there are a few rules that you need to actually follow that actually makes this hard work and not the get rich quick scheme that you might have been told it is, or you may think it is. So the problem has been Amazon themselves actually updated and started putting a lot of these public domain works themselves into the platform because they needed to fill up their catalogue in the beginning. And the problem is there's loads of works that's all the same. There's no differentiation. Maybe the cover's a bit different, maybe the font's a bit different, but it's leading to a lot of customer dissatisfaction. And the number one person that Amazon likes to look after is their customers. So Amazon has brought these 3 rules out that you need to follow. Well, in fact, you only need to follow one of the 3 rules. So I'm going to go through each one of them. So the first one that you need to do or think about doing is actually translation. So you can take an original piece of work like Pride and Prejudice and translate that into another language. And again, it's got to be a new language on the platform. So if there are loads of Spanish books out there for Pride and Prejudice, then you shouldn't be looking at putting a Spanish version of that. Maybe there's none in Portuguese, maybe there's none in German, maybe there's none in Arabic, and you could actually be doing that. But you need to have the skills to be able to do those translations, because you cannot use Google Translate or any other artificial intelligence to be doing the translation for you, because those skills are not up to the level that somebody who is actually trained in language skills can actually do. So if you can't do it yourself and you want to do a new translation, then you need to outsource that work by using Upwork or one of the other freelancer sites. Then there's another way that you can actually do public domain work, and that is by actually annotating it, by giving it some sort of study guide, put some extra information in it that's beyond the book, like extra questions and quizzes and certain workbooks and certain different activities people can be doing to complete the book. You can also add some sort of contemporary spin to it. And a good example of this is from the book Outwitting the Devil, which was originally written by Napoleon Hill and is annotated by Sharon Lecter, who is also the co-author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and 3 Feet from Gold. And she has annotated it in a way that it's more contemporary and is more relevant to us in the modern world. Or you can actually be creating 10 or more illustrations in the book, but they must be relevant to the book. So you can't just go along to Creative Fabrica or Creative Market or Design Bundle or all those different places and grab loads of images and stick them in, and they are not relevant to the book. Also, Amazon gives you things that they don't consider to be differentiated. So they don't consider that if you're adding a linked table of contents, that's not differentiated enough. They don't think formatting it is also differentiated enough. So if you find a really old manuscript that is not available on the internet and you're just formatting it, they don't consider that differentiated enough. You'd have to put like 10 more illustrations in there. Again, they look at collections as well. That is not differentiated enough. Sales rank isn't, price isn't, and if it's freely available on the internet, they are not going to look favorably on it. So if you have not done those 3 rules, then your account is likely to be suspended at the very least while you remove those books from your dashboard. So if you are successful in actually either changing the language or creating an annotation study guide or adding 10 or more different unique images that are relevant to the book, then you're only going to get 35% of the royalty. So if you charge say $2.99 or more for it and it's the ebook, instead of getting 70%, you're still only going to get 35%, unless you change it drastically and make a new and unique piece of work from that public domain. And you can do that with some excellent examples. So the first example I'm going to give you is Pride and Prejudice Zombies. Now, Jane Austen's probably turning in a grave, but this has been created into a new series of books and movies as well to go along with it. And then another group of people that do really well in taking public domain work and changing it is Disney, Marvel, and most of the Hollywood studios. So if we take an example of Disney, they've taken Frozen, which is loosely based on the Snow Queen, which was written by Hans Christian Andersen. In fact, they've taken quite a few of his work. Little Mermaid, we all know what that's based on. And then another one, if we look at Marvel, Thor is in a lot of Marvel stories, and that comes from the Norse god of thunder. So that is actually taking public domain work and making it unique and giving it a unique spin. So if you think you might create some sort of comic strip based on a different sort of story, that again is making it unique. So in my opinion, yes, you can use public domain, but it does take a lot of work. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And if you can speak several different languages well, and you can also do the written part of that language, then translation may be the way to go. Or if you know the book inside out, then annotation is another way to go. Or you're a great artist, or you know somebody you can outsource it to, you can create 10 different or more illustrations to put in your book. But it does take a lot of great work, and the problem is a lot of people have been going to Gutenberg Press, downloading the original piece of work and then just simply uploading it to KDP with a new cover and a new metadata and thinking that's differentiated enough. And no, it is not. So all the links and everything to Amazon where they give you these rules, give you the pricing, will all be down in the description. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button above my head. Also, on the other side, I've given you some videos that are about 10 different reasons to keep your account safe and trademark.